chorus and the screaming gulls. He says, stop fishing for boats and find the deep. There are promises for ocean that we have to keep. Oh, turn the handle, Randall, let the drag just scream. Living out of Cabo San Lucas fishing dream. They hate people with suntans and smiles on their face, but we're finding our freedom in this liquid space. Turn off the news, they're all lying to you anyway. We're out here killing fish at the breaking of the day. He's got a hot dog on a stick and a story to tell. Navigating through the swells of this coastal hell. He says, I wish I was a California sea lion too, because they have more rights than me or you. Yeah, the laws of the land are getting mighty strange, while the sea lions are not allowed to die or change. They bark on the rocks while the tax man takes a share, but he's got a heavy lure and he doesn't care.
All righty, gang. We got my sister joining us today with Michael Folks and Kevin, and welcome everybody. And Donna, you got big news to talk about. We are getting ready for something that's near and dear to both of us, all three of us actually, you, me, and Michael, is we are celebrating our father on May 15th.
Don Hansen Day, May 15th. We're celebrating our 55th anniversary. We call it Don Hansen Day. We have a great big sale. We hope everybody comes down and takes advantage and gets some new merch. We only make it once a year. We have some really exciting things going on. There's the flyer. It's one day only. You get to save 30% off all of our fishing, 3/4 day and half day, 50% off whale watching, 25% off in-store merchandise. And again, we have some new merchandise that just dropped. We have a few other little things that are going to drop closer to May 15th, but it's only available on May 15th. So mark your calendars. And we do have some online promotions for those people that can't come down in person.
Good.
And so everybody keeps asking me, why May 15th? What's the representation of May 15th? Can you explain to everybody why you picked that day?
Well, that is a funny story. So May 15th was a day that kind of was like a Facebook day that I had celebrated for a little while. And as Dana Wharf's anniversary really started gaining steam, it was our anniversary day. It was always May 15th, and it kind of just stuck. And then, you know, after Dad died, I renamed it to Don Hansen Day, and we've been doing it since our 40th anniversary. So when we hit 40th, we did May 15th as our anniversary day, and so we've just been doing it ever since. And then, of course, now it's Don Hansen Day, and it's, you know, this year we have a patch with Don Hansen Day on the sleeve, on our merchandise. So it's just wonderful. And we see a lot of Dad's old friends that come down, and we've been posting history. There it is. There's the Don Hansen patch on the sleeve. That's something we've never done. It's a local artist named Andy in San Clemente that really hand drew pictures of Dad. Redid. We have this iconic picture that used to be off the San Clemente Pier called, it would say Fishing Aplenty in San Clemente. And he redrew it so that it could depict leaving from Dana Point Harbor every day. So it's pretty amazing stuff. And we love the history. And I have to say that the people sending us pictures and loving the pictures we've been sharing of Dave and Mike when they were little kids standing on the dock. You know, we're a big family down here, but we love the stories and we love to share the history. Absolutely.
It warms my heart every time I see that picture of Michael and I when we were little kids standing on the dock. It's one of those rare moments where Dad was able to take us fishing, and he took us on the seahorse and we went fishing that day when we were little kids. I never forget it. I mean, every time I went fishing with him, and when I worked for him as he was the captain on Mondays and Tuesdays on the Clemente, it was always very, very exciting. You never knew what the heck was going to happen on the boat. It was probably some of the most exciting times as a crew member when he would run the boat, because he would, wherever we had to go, we went to catch some fish. It was pretty amazing, Michael. You can only imagine what it was like working for him.
Legendary.
That's why people tell that story about how when they went fishing with Don, they never knew what time they would be back, because he just wouldn't come back until he got what he wanted.
Yep.
He took it personal, just like we all do. We grew up, everybody that's worked for the old man, from Frank LaPresti, Steve Lasley, and all the other people, they all say the same thing. Customer service, number one thing to always remember. Customers come first. And he made sure that everybody on that boat was going to have the best time they could possibly have. And we might get in at midnight, but we were still going to catch whatever we were going to catch.
Yeah, such great stories. And we're just so happy. People are so excited. So Don Hansen Day. So you have to log on May 15th. If you can't come down here, you can buy your tickets online, but it's only that day, and we won't sell them to you the next day. So just make sure that you save the date in your phone and you take advantage of the 30% off. And I'm just going to tell a little story that our prices do go up on July 1st. So you're buying these tickets at 30% off of today's prices. So you actually are getting that 40% off discount. So make sure you take advantage, because we don't have any blackout dates and we don't limit when you can go.
And how many tickets can we buy at 30% off?
How many tickets? Oh, each person can buy 10, but like last year we sold, I don't know, 3,000 tickets or something. It's crazy.
Jeez, that's so good.
Isn't that a crazy, Michael?
I love it.
People love fishing.
Yeah, they do.
And they love a deal. So they love fishing and they love a deal. So, and if they're down here, they get to see Dave Hansen when he gets off the Clementi at 3:00. Well, 4:00, whatever time you get in.
Right. And then we're all going to go to go see Shayla at John's Fish Market and have dinner like we did last year and the year before, gang. So if you can't join us, and only members of Your Saltwater Guide can join us, and then when we get to the dock, you can all come and have dinner with us over at John's Fish Market.
That sounds like a big fun time.
It's a big party.
Sounds
big party. And you can come in and buy some merch that you can only get on May 15th.
Yeah, so check out that shirt.
So fun. And it's hard to see, Dave, but they drew the little guy. So on the front of the boat is this little guy in like a bucket, and he's fishing. It's hard to see, but it's really kind of funny. Like you can't see it till you actually come down here on May 15th and buy the shirt.
And then you can get that bag too, right?
You can get that bag too, yes. And you can get the bag that's behind me. Everybody that's on the Dave Hansen Your Saltwater Guide Clementi trip will get one of these bags and get this little koozie.
You're so funny with the koozie.
Show everybody again. And then the bag's right behind you, right?
Yeah, that's the bag. That's one of the bags. I mean, we made like 3 bags for the anniversary. So one is the boat picture, one is this one, and we have another one, which I don't have it right here, but it's our old sign that was on our building for 40 years. So we made that sign too.
Nice.
So exciting. I'm so excited about this year. So 55 years is a huge accomplishment. And, you know, we're in the midst of a construction project too. So it's very important for us to tell everybody that, you know, we're still in business every single day. Construction hasn't slowed us down. We have a huge, big, beautiful parking structure with unlimited parking. All of our customers, they only have to pay $12 to park in it. It's a pretty good deal.
And Donna, didn't you guys start off in a trailer?
We did. We started off in a trailer. And the rumor is that we will be back in a trailer while they do construction. No, it's funny. Like we are going to be back in a trailer. And I think our landlord thought that was kind of funny because we were once in a trailer and we were able to operate at full capacity, and they're going to put us back in a trailer while they redo our building.
Full cycle.
Yeah.
Full cycle.
Full cycle.
And honestly, Donna, you were like very instrumental in negotiating and getting that lease to keep us in business while the construction went on, weren't you?
Yes. We worked really hard to get our lease extended so that it would extend past the construction date. So we're very happy. We worked really, that was one of Dad's last things, like that he wanted to make sure that we had a lease that took us into the future. So that's really good news for us.
Oh, absolutely. The way that you and Dad were able to put that together kind of just says what kind of a business you run down there in the harbor. You and Michael have done a great job keeping Dad's dream alive and keeping it going down there. And it's a big deal to think that 99.9% of the businesses in Dana Point Harbor have either closed or they're going to close as this construction keeps carrying on. But one thing that's going to be there since the very beginning, and we were the first business in the harbor in 1971, we're going to keep going no matter what. Like Donna said, we're going to run our operation out of a trailer, but we're going to be servicing the public. Why this whole construction thing's going on, that's a big deal.
And it's huge.
It's big. And, we probably won't see construction on our side for another year and a half. But, we'll see. I mean, we are so fortunate that we sell tickets. We send the public out on boats. So they just need access to come down here and get their tickets and get on the boats. So it's a wonderful thing. And we're access to the ocean. So I'm just so happy that we can provide that and carry on our dad's legacy.
Well, and also you guys have expanded from just being, basically a fish landing to a full ecotourism system now, right? I mean, you have
Yeah, we saw our first blue whale today. I haven't even told Todd that because it happened right when usually I'd be on social media, like announcing it to the world that we saw our first blue whale. Captain Brandon today on the Dana Pride, 3 miles out of Dana Point Harbor, found our first blue whale.
Sweet.
We've been seeing fin whales for the last month, and there's been a tremendous amount of krill in the water, and we knew that we would see a blue whale any day, and we did. And so we're so excited. We are the dolphin and whale watching capital of the world, and every single person on our boat today gets this little pin that says, I'm part of the 1% club. I saw a blue whale at Dana Wharf.
Nice.
So they get a little souvenir to take home with them. So that's pretty cool. But yes, we are everything. You come down here, you can go fishing, whale watching, sailing, parasailing. We have a dive boat here. So we have it all going on.
And you can get on board for as little as 2 hours, right?
Yeah, the whale watching is 2 hours. We're a very unique landing because we are minutes from the harbor mouth, and we can be out looking at whales right when we leave the harbor.
Instant access.
Instant access.
Yeah, that's what I tell everybody that has a trailerable boat and a member of Your Saltwater Guide. Not just because my father started the business in Dana Point, and not just because my family still has the business in Dana Point, but accessibility for the public. There isn't any better harbor on the California coast. You launch your boat, then you have to go by the bait barge to get out of the harbor, and you can literally be fishing after you bait up in 5 minutes.
Yeah, like I'm sitting at Dana Wharf looking right out my window, and the thing that I see is the bait barge. Like all of our boats sit like next to the bait barge. So we are instant access.
So cool.
And it's your favorite view because you get to see Jeff every day.
Oh, hi, Jeff. Oh, yeah, she's my favorite person that works at the bait barge. Not really. I like Joe better, but,
I'm just kidding.
Let's tell the truth here. Hey, what about the warm water, David? Is that going to make have you seen any significant changes in the bites?
Well, we talked about this yesterday, Michael, and it's absolutely amazing. We are talking literally Dorado in April. This is
Unbelievable.
You know, Donna, we've been doing this for a very long time, and Dad will tell you guys, these are the good old days. My dad can tell you, or used to be able to tell us about in the early 60s and late 50s, you couldn't catch a bass as big as your finger. He'd said it a different way, but you couldn't catch a bass for months and months and months and months. We're talking Dorado in April right now. Mahi mahi. We're talking yellowfin tuna on this side of the border, already caught at the corner. There was Dorado caught on the 43 on Saturday, Michael. It's unbelievable. And the long range boats are fishing short. They're fishing 150 miles because the fishing is insane. Bluefin, yellowfin, Dorado, yellowtail. It's absolutely the most incredible thing we've ever heard of. And El Nino in 1983, the only real El Nino we've ever really, really honestly had, that didn't even start till July. We're just like creating this history event right now that you can't even believe. And Donna and Michael are setting on a powder keg in Dana Point, because if history showed us anything, they love that Dana Point Canyon.
Yeah, they do. And we were fishing pelagics right up until December in that El Nino.
Yeah. We have like a pretty famous picture of the Sum Fun actually loaded with yellowtail in December because they had Christmas lights all around the boat.
It's so cool. I think we'll see the same thing again this year. Both all the species that you mentioned, Dave, as well as I think we're going to see some wahoo and obviously striped marlin and possibly even some blues.
The blue marlin, yeah. It's going to be unbelievable. And like Donna said, if you guys, she's going to raise her prices. She has to. Let's just be honest. The price of doing business in Southern California is off the charts. She has to raise her prices.
So cheap, you know, the fuel, like, oh my gosh, like.
Yeah, the fuel's free right now. You know, you watch it. It's free. Well, Dad, Michael, my father used to say, you can have everything I've ever made in my whole life if you could just give me the money I spent on fuel.
Yep. Yep.
And, you know, back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and most of the 80s, they didn't even think about fuel.
No, it was 16 cents a gallon. Was, you know, you're burning dinosaurs. Nobody cared.
It's really funny because I had this like financial study from this college, and these people came down, they did a big report, and they're like, you know, you could be so much more profitable if you got rid of these two line items. And I'm like, really, what are those? And they're like, fuel and bait.
Just get rid of those two line items.
I'm like, oh, wow. You guys are studying to be MBAs and you're going to be these business stars. And
all you have to do is get rid of fuel and bait and you're going to make some money. All right, well, we'll just sit at the dock
all day. Yeah.
Dock, let them fish frozen squid.
That's bait. That'd cost you a fortune.
Yeah.
No. That's crazy. Insane. The people that are trying to tell us how to run a business, they have no clue of what it takes. I mean, if you guys sat down with Donna just one day and just saw what goes on inside of Donna's head, all the different things she has going on, just with the employees at Dana Wharf Sport Fishing, not counting the MPA and the California Fish and Wildlife Commission and all the other things. Didn't you just, you'll love this story, Michael. Didn't you just get back from Washington, D.C.?
I did. I went to Washington, D.C. with American Sportfishing Association. They're a wonderful organization that they're really like on the front lines of making sure that we all have access. Like their goal is to keep America fishing. I mean, what a simple goal. They're a tremendous group of people. They work in DC every single day lobbying for your rights. And it doesn't matter if you're left or you're right, everybody fishes. So when you're up in DC, it's like, it's just a different world. Everyone loves fishing. We were in the halls waiting to talk to our Congressman, Mike Levin, and a congressman, I'm sorry, I don't remember his name, but he was from Montana. He walked by us, and we all had our American sport fishing brochure thing on, and he stopped and he talked to us. He's like, hey, you guys are from a fishing organization. I love to fish. And he was from Montana, but he was telling us all about going to Cabo and going fishing all around the world. And we're like, come to California and go fishing. We'll show you some great fishing. It was a really good convo. So I was up there doing that. Then I actually stayed and I went with the surf riders to talk against offshore oil drilling because I'm opposed to that, as I was opposed to offshore wind. So it was a really great 3-day trip.
Good deal.
Hey, what's going on May 19th?
May 19th is our regional meeting here for the MPAs in San Clemente at the Holiday Inn in San Clemente off Pico. It's our regional MPA meeting. So it's going to deal with the MPAs are marine protected areas, and there's a bunch of petitions in right now to expand marine protected areas. We have an area off Laguna Beach that they're trying to extend the last mile to make the entire city of Laguna Beach a no fishing zone. But we have a lot of support to stop that petition. And also the Fish and Wildlife recommended denying that petition, as they did recommend denying all 10 petitions.
Yeah. What?
Sorry, I was still on. So there's a fish and game meeting right now going on up north. So I was still on that meeting, listening in. But for everybody that is concerned about the MPAs, there's 2 regional meetings in Santa Barbara on May 5th and 6th. So all of the Santa Barbara petitions, and there's a lot of petitions up in that area. I can't really explain every single one right now, but huge amounts of water. They're trying to expand the MPA areas. So you need to get involved. And then again, the one in San Clemente will deal with the Catalina Island expansions, the San Diego expansion, and the Laguna Beach expansion. So please come get involved. You can follow Your Saltwater Guide. You can follow CCA. You can follow ASA. Any of those organizations will tell you what's going on and how to get involved and how to speak.
Yeah,
it's also a good idea too, Don, if anyone has the time to log on and then submit a letter
right
prior to the meeting, so the representatives.
Yeah, like unfortunately, like today is the deadline for the Santa Barbara letters to go in, and then there's also supplemental. So we need to put that all out there so everybody can know, because you can write a letter. Michael just wrote a very eloquent letter about not extending any more closures in Laguna Beach. It was received very well. The Sportfishing Association also shared your video with all the members, because it talked about all the MPAs and how we struggled for a long time. Like the MPAs have been in effect for 12 years. And there's a lot of pain felt by the industry. A lot of people went out of business. A lot of people didn't have access to fishing grounds. And I would say that we all kind of came together and we have worked it out. Like we can still fish. We can fish around the closures in our area, but they can't have more. And we have to let our voices be heard. And I can tell you that the people are listening and they're hearing us. So keep it up. And, there were promises made, and hopefully there will be promises kept to the fishermen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Donna, for doing what you do too, because I don't see where you find the time to make the effort to see all these meetings, travel all these places, and get in front of all these people prior to decisions being made. So you're really spearheading the voice of all of us, and I just want to say thank you for that.
Well, I want to thank all of you. I want to thank Dave. I want to thank you, Kevin. I want to thank you. I'm sure you're fighting for fishing as well. I think that if I need a number or something, I say, Dave, something's happening. I need to go get a hold of this person. He has a phone number. I can call him. Like somebody said to me, did you engage Michael Folks? And I'm like, no, he totally knows what's going on. And so this is a great lesson, right? Because I assumed that Michael Folks knew everything that was going on in Laguna Beach, which is the city that he lives in. So this is a very common story, right, Michael? So someone tells me that, and I'm like, no, I don't need to reach out to him. He already knows. And this person was like, well, I've met him a couple times. I could try to call him. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I will call him and I will get a hold of him. And Michael had no idea that this was still going on, because this process has been 2 years in the making, and people forget and they think that it's already done. So thank you so much for re-engaging. And that's the story everywhere we go. People have no idea.
Well, it's like you said, we've got to make our voices be heard. And all it takes is a couple of minutes to sit down and write a letter.
Yep.
And you don't have to go to the meeting. You don't have to
go to the meeting.
Any money. Just let them know that how much you love to fish, and any further closures are going to be death to this industry in Southern California.
Yeah.
We're barely hanging on at every primary fishing location on the coast. And their goal, like they told Frank LaPresti 15 years ago, our goal is to abolish the sport, period. We want to abolish sport fishing in Southern California, in California, and eventually nationwide. So it's a huge challenge that we're facing, because they are a well-heeled, well-organized, well-funded group of extremists that want to abolish the sport. And the only way we're going to save it, it's like Kevin was saying, I think last week, Kevin, or the week before, you were saying, we all live downstream.
Yep.
Doesn't matter if you're at the headwaters or you're at the entrance to the ocean, we all live downstream. So we're all part of this system. And as a unit, I call it wheelhouse mentality. Nobody really cares about what's going on the beach or what's going on outside of your own little wheelhouse. But we just need to be heard as a unit. Like you said, David, when enough people get involved, they sit up and listen. Oh, how many people? You have 100 people and waiting to talk? What? 100 people on the previous subject. We had one on the subject before that. And you got 100? Actually, we have 250, but you wouldn't let more than 100 get on. So
right.
I think those kind of numbers actually have an effect on the people that do decide what we can and can't do.
They do. They absolutely have an effect. I would say we just need to make our voices heard, and respectfully. Just be respectful, say your points, put it in a letter, call it in, go to the meeting if you live in San Clemente or you live close. Or if you're in Santa Barbara, attend those meetings, or just listen in, or Zoom, just get involved. And, we're almost through with this MPA thing. I think by the end of the year, we'll know everything will be flushed out. So we have a great opportunity. So it's now.
And I'll say the same thing with all of it that I did last week. Silence is compliance. If you don't speak up, you agree with what's going on. So, stand your ground on it. Be part of the group that's going after it.
Like
yeah. And Michael, it's hard to get the word out. Like, it's really hard to get the word out. Like, people don't know. So we just got to keep pounding the pavement and telling them. And I'm happy to do that, because our dad, Dave, would be like, we had the sand bass. We're still in the sand bass struggle. We're still proving that we have so much sand bass. We're still measuring sand bass. It's not over. So on your trip, Dave, you're going to do some measuring of sand bass. So like, just everything just keeps coming at us. But our dad's favorite fish was sand bass. So that was something I wasn't going to back off on. And this MPA thing came right with the sand bass. When we had our new regulations, when the sand bass went from 12 to 14 inches, that was all connected. So I had to re-watch all those videos with my dad talking and everybody talking at the meetings, and all the arguments that we made then are the same. We just have a better voice and we have a better understanding, and we can't lose.
Right. One thing before you get off here, because I told you a half hour and I know how much you love being on here.
Oh,
Rick Maurer of our members, one of our good friends, he wanted to know, Donna, when is the Point Doom extension meeting?
Point Doom, isn't that today?
I don't know. If you say it's today, then it's today, gang. So you might want to check it out, Rick. We've been posting.
So it's up by San Mateo, right? Or is that?
No, Point Doom is Paradise Cove, Santa Monica.
Oh, so that is May 19th.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
On that, May 19th, San Clemente, but you can send your letters in now, and you can plan to be on Zoom.
Dave, can you post the address, or Donna, can you post what email address we should be sending this stuff to?
Yes, and I'll post the deadlines too.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, she's very good at keeping it going on Dana or Sportfishing's website, and
Your Saltwater Guide has it on too.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Yeah, and guys, like Donna said, just be polite. You know, we all know what we want to give them, but just be polite and be respectful, and just state your position clearly and cleanly, and how much the sport means to you and your family. And we talked about in the video, Donna, the economic impact. It's $1 billion a year. California fishermen alone, and excise tax and other taxes, donate over $1 billion a year to fishing.
So combined, ASA says that it's $7.9 billion with, when you add in all the tourism, everything that sport fishing contributes to the economy in California, $7.9 billion.
Oh my
Those
God.
are real facts.
I had no idea. I thought it was $1 billion. $7.9
$9 billion. Yes.
The sport fishing industry generates.
Yeah. I'll send you the little graphic.
Oh, that to me is, post that little graphic and everybody add it to their email. Hey guys, if you don't care about fishing, at least care about your $7.9 million that we give you.
Yeah.
$7.9 billion.
Yeah. And then there's like a slide ASA has, and the taxes. It's 43,000 jobs to the state of California.
That's just our state.
I know.
Oh, that's amazing. I had no idea.
And Donna, I know you got to get going. Michael, explain, because Donna doesn't know. They didn't teach this in the history books. Donna's not seen a show with me and you on it, I don't think. Explain to Donna where the Declaration of Independence was written, and then we'll get going. And Donna, you can go.
I'll give it the cliff notes. But in 1732, a group of guys that were all fly fishermen back east, along a little place called the Schuylkill River, in a place that now is called Philadelphia, got together and formed this little fishing club on the bank of this river called the Schuylkill Fishing Club. And in 1732, it was made up of guys like, you might have heard of them, George Washington, Paul Revere, Ben Franklin. I mean, those guys got together under the guise of a fishing club to write the Declaration of Independence. Because had they been caught meeting, they would have been hung for treason. So
Wow.
our Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States was written by fishermen and a fishing club called the Schuylkill Fishing Club in 1732, and it evolved through there. And it's the oldest continuously operated social club in the English-speaking language, and it still operates today. So
It still operates.
yes, ma'am. Yeah, and just the fact that fishermen got together and said we got to declare our independence from Great Britain, and that's
Wow.
what pretty cool sub story.
Isn't that amazing, Donna? They didn't teach us that in school.
No, I love
And-
that story.
And you're not talking about it at the meetings, which we should be talking about it because our forefathers.
We talked about it throughout the history of sport fishing.
Oh, yeah.
The sport has woven itself into the very fabric of America's soul.
Right.
It doesn't matter if you're on a cane pole and a bobber, or you've got the latest state of the art, $20 million 90-foot Vikings. You're still a part of the sport, and it's so important to us as a country. It teaches so many lessons. Like Tammy was saying, the lessons that can be learned at the end of a line can't be taught anywhere else.
No,
So
they can't.
It's so important to keep the kids involved, because like Flip said before he passed away, that his biggest concern for the future of the sport was that we weren't engaging enough youth. And if you don't engage the youth and you don't teach people to respect and love what we love and respect and have learned to appreciate over the years of fishing our entire lives, if you don't love something, you're not going to protect it. So we stand up, let your voice be heard, take a kid fishing, and you're doing your job.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you, Donna, for being on the show today. May 15th, everybody, Don Hansen Day.
Don Hansen Day. Woo!
May 15th, you get 30% off fishing trips, you get 50% off whale watch trips, and 25% off all store merchandise.
Yeah, and get new merchandise that just dropped.
And Donna created a bunch of new stuff for this event. So
very cool.
Jump in there, and your Saltwater Guide members, I got you all on a list. I'll post it here at the end of the show. But Donna, thank you. You can split now. I'm happy.
Okay.
Thanks, Donna.
Okay, I did my duty. Bye, Michael. Bye, Kevin. Have a great talk, and we'll talk to you guys later, okay?
All right.
You can invite me back. He never, ever invites me on the show. I have to, like,
oh, my God. Shut up. Shut up.
It's so embarrassing.
Yeah, okay. Just like Kelly. You and Kelly, I never invite you on the show. Bye.
Never invite
Bye,
you.
Donna.
Hey, your dad was instrumental to me when I was growing up. I just had to say that. I mean, he was one of the first guys in the industry that kind of patted me on the back and said, yeah, keep going. You know, you got a camera, go out there and shoot that stuff. You know, he was very supportive from day one. Well,
him and I had many, many conversations on the boat, driving in or driving out. And he told me, Michael Folks is the only now, back in the old days, in the 50s and in the early 60s, they had a show up in San Pedro on Long Beach and that. But after that ended, he said, Michael Folks is the only one telling our story. He's the only guy telling our story, son. So support him as much as you can. And then we've grown to be such good friends. But my dad was very, 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 very proud of you and what you were doing for our industry.
And I just wanted to say how much I appreciate his belief and his support in me way back in the beginning. I mean, he really saw what we were trying to do, what I was trying to do. And he was really the first man, the first leader, I'd say, the first leader in the industry to step up and say, you know, what can we do to help you get your message out about what we're doing and why we're doing it. So I'll never forget that. He's been a part of my life for the last 50 years. So pretty cool man. Good family genes.
Yeah. I'm very proud to be his son. All right. Well,
and Sydney's coming out on this trip, isn't he? Sweet.
What?
Never mind.
All right, gang. So we can't do this show without our great sponsors, and Promar is a phenomenal sponsor of our show every Monday and Tuesday. I just want to show you guys a quick 30-second video from Promar, and then we're going to jump into the history of sport fishing. And Michael and Kevin and I are going to answer your questions. We'll play a little bit of it, then we'll jump in. We're playing part 2 of chapter 7, and Michael can tell you about it in just a second. Check this video out real quick here, gang. I think you guys will be stoked by what we were able to put together here. And we're getting ready to go do a little lingcod fishing today, so I'm going to use some of this 60-pound fluorocarbon, the GT4. Super abrasion resistant. It's going to handle those big teeth on those lingcod. We're going to drop down some live deception jigs, see if we can't get a couple of nibbles. We will let you know later, but gang, you must have some of this GT4 fluorocarbon connected between your braided line and your lure. Somewhere between your braided line and your lure, you're going to want to have some fluorocarbon. Super important. So check it out. GT4 fluorocarbon. Go to Promar Ahi USA. When you're over there, put in the code YSWG and the number 20, and that'll save you 10% on your next order of GT4 fluorocarbon. All right, thanks, gang. Okay, so Michael, kind of give us a heads up on what we're about to watch here.
Well, we're going into part 2 of chapter 7, which is all about fly fishing. And that's why I'm so glad you could join us again, Kevin. You are the guy.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me back. I appreciate it.
Just jump in anytime. And guys, if you have any questions while we're running this thing, just type them in, let us know. We can pause it and answer any questions you may have.
So let's get this game on the road.
Today, women are one of the fastest growing demographics in fly fishing, comprising 36% of the total fly anglers in the United States. They represent all age groups, backgrounds, and skill levels. Saltwater fly fishing instructor Diana Rudolph learned to fish at her dad's side when she was just 5 years old, and she's never looked back.
The first fish I caught on a fly rod was magic. It was the most exhilarating experience. And after I released that fish back into the water, that was it. I was addicted. For me, the moment just before a fish takes a fly, just when he commits, is the most exciting in fly fishing. It is so exhilarating, and I become so focused. All of my daydreams end, life's minutia melts away, and I'm in the moment. I do fish a lot in solitude, but I really enjoy fishing with my friends. And a lot of my really close friends began as strangers, but through some conversation or somehow we stumbled upon the fact that we really share this passion, and it brought us together, and now they're wonderful friends.
And there is no shortage of strong female role models for them to learn from. Women like Elise Darby, famed Catskill fly tyer and shop owner. Elise and her husband Harry produced flies for over 40 years, and she was the inspiration behind the establishment of the Catskill Fly Fishing Center and Museum, and served as its first president. Recognized as the fly fishing Lady of the West, Margaret Merriman was raised fishing in California and Montana, and once said she found it as natural as walking and breathing. In 1972, she became one of the earliest professional female casting instructors and an outdoor writer. She was the founder of the Maggie Merriman Fly Fishing School, the first separate school designed for women and taught by women in the Western United States. She would go on to design a signature women's fly rod for Lima Glass, along with ladies' clothing and tackle lines. She was also a leader in the Federation of Fly Fishers, having developed and led their National Women's Educational Fly Fishing Program in the 1990s. Rhea Topping was a personal protege of Joan Wolf, who would go on to fame as the first women instructor hired by the Wolf School and the second woman to earn the Federation of Fly Fishers Master Instructor certification. She was also the Federation of Fly Fishers Woman of the Year in 1999, a Lou Jewett Lifetime Award winner, an author, owner of Mayfly Adventures Guiding Service, lead instructor for Casting for Recovery in Virginia, and the National Director for the Federation of Fly Fishing. Cecilia Pudge Kleinkoff of Alaska was a trailblazer in women's fly fishing despite not learning to fly fish until she was 40 years old. A natural-born teacher, she was also a lawyer, author, casting instructor, and professional guide. In 1993, she founded Women's Fly Fishing School in Alaska, which she ran for 3 decades, and it remains a mecca for women in the sport.
Well, I've always been a worrier, always. And I'm one of those people that is looking 20 miles down the road, like, what's going to happen here and what should I do about this? And I always say part of what I got out of all of that was cancer. Cancer is supposed to be easier to come by from people who are stressed. And then cancer changed my life. It absolutely changed my whole world. And then after that, I began to think more in terms of what is it I love that I want to do, since I don't know how much longer I have to live. And every single time I asked myself that question, the answer came up: fly fishing. Go fish. Just go fish. I really felt like somehow there was a connection between my healing and going fly fishing.
Pudge was universally loved and respected by those who knew her. Her dedication to conservation led her to become a leading activist for multiple fish habitat conservation organizations, in her beloved Alaska and across the entire United States. Thanks to her indomitable spirit, the impact of Pudge's life and leadership will be felt for generations to come. Fanny Krieger is a fly fishing instructor and founder of Golden West Women Fly Fishers in 1993. Fanny's dream was to put together an association of women fly anglers from around the world. In 1997, she gathered together some of the leading lady anglers of the time, and International Women Fly Fishers was founded. The IWFF remains the only international women's fly fishing club and serves as a resource connecting anglers to coordinated trips with other members, educational seminars, and online resources with a network of recommended guides, instructors, and more.
Well, women in fly fishing is nothing new. Obviously, there have been women paving the way and kind of elevating our participation for a very long time. Well, just like that, people in the industry have been talking about ways to make our industry stronger, and having women elevated in this industry is really a key way to do it.
Recognizing the importance of the growing trend of women in fly fishing, Orvis, along with partners Costa, Sims, and Yeti, launched a 50-50 on-the-water campaign to make it easier for women to participate in the sport. Celebrate the unique connection between women, conservation, and their shared experiences, fly fishing and communing immersed in nature.
One of our barriers as women and as a woman of color, people had to get past preconceived notions about what we become involved in, what we can do. I think once you sit at a table with people, you listen, they see that there is more to you than what that preconceived notion might have been.
Power in numbers, that allows some women who might not have experience like I do to go into a fly shop and to ask about flies and how do I do this, and not feel that you have to know everything to get out there. Through social media, through campaigns like 50-50, I'm finding that women feel more confident to ask those questions about getting out on the river.
Fly fishing is a community sport. It does involve a community of learners and anglers and conservationists and historians, role models and teachers and mentors. We want to be involved. We want to share our knowledge and passion and enthusiasm with someone. Hooking a fish and getting like life on the line is just, you're just like, wow, there's a fish there. And you get excited about that and having someone to share with it.
I think it's in our best interest to just get as many people involved in the sport as possible, to grow it as much as possible. The more people we get involved in the sport, we'll have a better chance of protecting the rivers, the fisheries. Our voice will be louder. We'll be able to protect the things that matter to us, public lands and clean water. Who's going to speak out for that but the sportsmen who cherish those resources? To get more women involved in the sport would just mean a louder voice for the fly fishing community.
We are all connected to the outdoors. We are all wild women, men, and children of Mother Nature. I want to see people involved regardless of their abilities and skill set and social class. I want to see no barriers in fly fishing, just as if it were any other sport in the world.
To me, it's a no-brainer to have equality in this activity that we love. It's a no-brainer to have as many women as men not only participating, but excelling in the activity. People come into the shop as kind of looking for that diversity. And the people who I see in my shop are people of color, people with disabilities, people from different economic backgrounds, certainly a lot of women and a lot of men who love to fish with their spouse, men who love to fish with women, men who have daughters, and men who are really eager to help elevate women here because they're in their lives all the time. And this is such a great place to share our lives together.
Nancy Zakon is a lifelong teacher and ambassador for women in fly fishing. An Orvis casting instructor, Nancy helped start Orvis's first schools for women and helped design their first line of women's customized gear in 1995. She also served as president of the International Women's Fly Fishers and founded 2 ladies' fly fishing clubs, Juliana's Club in New York and the Bonefish Bonnies in Key Largo. Nancy has worked to promote women in the sport for over 3 decades, was the 2023 recipient of the American Museum of Fly Fishing Isaac Walton Award for Lifetime Achievement in Fly Fishing, and sits on the Board of Trustees of the American Museum of Fly Fishing. Annette McLean was working as a conservationist in Montana when she stopped into the R.L. Winston Rod Company in the 1980s. She walked out that same day with a new job, and soon her work ethic and knowledge of fly fishing made her an invaluable asset to the company. She started in the shop, buffing out butt caps and reel seats, quickly advanced to machining metal parts, and eventually became the graphite rod production manager. In 2006, she took over responsibilities for their storied bamboo rod program. And just 2 years later, she was also appointed as the lead designer for their amazing graphite rods. McLean led the design of 4 different Winston rod series for a total of 60 customized rod designs. In the later part of her career, she was made Vice President of Operations and Design. In total, she worked for over 3 decades to help Winston maintain its place as one of the leading fly rod companies in the world. During this time, she also continued her work as a casting instructor and supporting conservational causes as a board member of both the International Women's Fly Fishers and Trout Unlimited.
If you really want to do something and you know you'll love doing it, you'll make it happen. You'll have people tell you that it's not possible or this isn't the right career path for you, but just know that you can do a lot more than what you think you're capable of. Just because you're a girl doesn't mean you can't do this just as well as a guy.
According to Fly Fishing Magazine, the rise in accomplished female fly anglers should come as no surprise. Think about the true nature of fly fishing. The elements of reading the water and reading the hatches, combined with the delicate application of power, and you'll realize that women are better equipped from the get-go, both physically and mentally. Women who are in the zone serenade the river and play their rods like violins, while men are mostly cracking bullwhips to try and get the fish to do their bidding.
Yeah, I was just one of the guys.
Women that you can walk into a world where you are the odd man out, and with confidence and hard work, you can really change people's perspectives.
I guess my goal is just to keep enriching my soul.
In 1999, 2 adventurous sisters, Becky Clark and Marie Sussman, took the concept of combining fly fishing and fellowship to a whole new level when they founded Sisters on the Fly. They were sitting in their camp celebrating a good day of trout fishing with a bottle of wine when they decided they were having just too much fun to keep it to themselves. They decided to invite a few of their girlfriends on their next trip. And in the past 2 decades, over 20,000 women, ranging in age from 21 to 92, have joined the Sisters.
Sisters on the Fly is the largest women's-only outdoor adventure group in the country.
Sisters on the Fly is different for each of us. Each and every member joins for their own individual reasons.
It's really a fun way to meet women that are from all walks of life, that have all different kinds of interests, but we share this one common interest of loving to be outdoors.
It's like the sisterhood of the traveling pants, but it's the sisterhood of the sassy trailers.
Fishing, camping, travel adventures, philanthropic and conservation endeavors, outdoor activities, and social events are all at the heart and soul of the Sisters on the Fly. And with their motto, "We have more fun than anyone," it's easy to understand their popularity. They host outings ranging from a few women on a day trip to local streams, to caravan traveling hundreds of miles for week-long adventures. Many of the members share their knowledge of fly fishing, fly tying, camping, and other outdoor skills at informal fireside chats after a day on the water. They are also known for the Sisters custom RV trailers and Cowgirl Caravan that are often elaborately decorated with themes representing each of the unique ladies that own them.
Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then. Who cares about the clouds when we're together?
Just sing a song and bring the sunny weather.
Happy trails to you till we meet again.
Their goal is to congregate, recreate, and celebrate, all while getting in touch with nature and learning something new. The sisters come from far and wide to recharge their souls, to sing at the top of their lungs, and to laugh harder than they have in a long time. Their rules are simple. No men, no kids. Be nice and have fun.
Till we meet again.
The idea of fly fishing being a force for spiritual healing is not a new one. But in 1996, the physical benefits were brought to the forefront when breast reconstructive surgeon Dr. Benita Walton and fly angler Gwen Perkins came up with a plan to treat breast cancer patients by combining the emotional aspects of fly fishing with the physiological benefits of the casting motion itself. Their instructors teach the gentle, rhythmic motion of presenting the fly and explain how it can be good physical therapy for increasing mobility in the arm and chest walls, improving blood flow, and helping with balance and strength. Their program, Casting for Recovery, is now in its 25th year and has provided free clinics to over 10,000 breast cancer survivors in the U.S. alone. Many of the participants call these retreats life-changing, both physically and mentally. The women find inspiration and support, experience healing connections with other women who understand what they're going through, find peace and rest in nature, and learn a sport that helps them look forward to the promise of a life after cancer.
Let him go. Let him go.
That is awesome. Oh my gosh. Woohoo! Casting for Recovery rocks!
The clinics operate with the support of more than 1,800 volunteers nationwide, including medical and psychological counselors, fly fishing instructors and guides, and retreat alumni who often come back after their own recovery to help others as they begin their journey of healing. National sponsors of Casting for Recovery include Orvis, Bass Pro Shops, and Cabela's Outdoor Fund, Costa, Sims, Yeti, and other major retailers who offer financial support as well as generous donations of their gear to participants.
Casting for Recovery is a quality of life program for breast cancer survivors, and we take women at any stage and at any age of their breast cancer experience, and through fly fishing and through our medical and psychosocial support, we give them the opportunity to take home some new skills in a multitude of areas. When you get a diagnosis, your head is swimming with treatment and treatment plans, and you're scared and you're consumed by trying to figure out what you're going to do with your life, or if you're going to have a life. And so having an experience like Casting for Recovery, where, particularly for me, I was learning a new skill, and it's so much fun, and you're so focused on what you're trying to do, you completely forget about the situation that you're in. And a retreat like this is maybe their first opportunity to go, wow, I didn't even know I was feeling that.
This has been my first time actually reaching out to be with other survivors. So to be with them, I see what I was missing, and I needed that along the way.
It's the best thing that's happened to me in a long time. And it's not just that it happens to me, it happens to every other person who's here.
Maybe, you continue to fish and maybe you don't, but you take that experience home. And we've had people say to us after their retreat, if I'm having a bad day at the office or I'm feeling lousy, I close my eyes and I remember that experience on the water with my guide and catching that fish, and it turns my world around.
Casting for Recovery is the best. I will be telling all my friends about it. The experience is thebomb.com, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. When you've seen what I've seen in my life, you have no choice but to just be grateful.
Few things can leave more deeply etched scars,
Real
both physically
quick,
and
Captain Dave,
psychologically,
before we get
than the
into
trauma of having
veterans,
served in
can I add
combat.
something real quick? So I think this does a fantastic job of highlighting just how much women have been a major part of the fly fishing world. And, I think so often when people think fly fishing, their first thought is a river runs through it. And when you look at just how much women have a history of it, it's incredible. And if you have any question whatsoever, if you are a female and if there's a place for you in fly fishing, just hop on Instagram and look up fly fishing women. I think we're at a point now where there are more women with Instagram fly fishing related stuff than there are men. Come on in the water. It feels great. Well, if you're not sure what to do, we'll get you there. But I think fly fishing has been so incredible, and I've had the privilege of working a little bit with our, at least meeting a lot of the women that are in our local Casting for Recovery chapter, and it is truly life changing for
these women,
and dealing with the health and just physical and mental health. And yeah, it's incredible. And I can already feel in this next section that we're about to watch, nobody on the stream has seen me cry. Marines don't cry. We don't do it. It's not going to happen. So the tears are just hot sauce that I had in my eyes. So
okay. It is, Kevin. I think women today in fly fishing is the fastest growing segment in the sport, in the entire sport. And they have just done phenomenal. And Sisters on the Fly and Casting for Recovery, they're just, like you said, just log on Instagram and find a spot. Come on in, the water's warm, and everybody is going to welcome you. It is the most, it's a universal sport. Nobody cares how old, what color, what creed, what side of the aisle you are. It's a recreational sport that touches your soul.
Absolutely. And, she touched on it, and I know we'll touch on it after the next segment, but there truly is something that happens when you fly fishing that the rest of the world gets shut out. And when you're going through something like battling cancer or, just coming out of remission from cancer, you need that mental health support. And, there's not really a better organization to be a part of. So I, as a fly fisher, I very much appreciate you highlighting that group and what they do.
Oh, thanks, Kevin. I think this next little segment that's coming up is going to bring a tear to your eye. It does to me.
Yeah, I can feel it coming.
All right. It's only a few minutes.
In 2005, Naval Officer Ed Nicholson was hospitalized at Walter Reed Army Medical Center in Maryland when he saw many of these wounds firsthand in the men and women returning from the conflict in Iraq. As an avid outdoorsman, Officer Nicholson got the idea to invite a few of them on a fly fishing outing once they left the hospital. From that simple gesture, one man's compassion has grown into over 200 Veterans Project Healing Waters fly fishing programs that are available across the United States. They provide classes on fly fishing, casting, tying flies, and rod building, along with clinics for beginners as well as those with experience who are adapting their skills to their new abilities. The programs are available to any disabled veteran who wants to participate and is unique in that its volunteers are teaching classes on an ongoing, long-term basis for these men and women.
The PTSD, those hidden wounds that we don't see, I would go to the water and work it out rather than having it jumble up in my mind. Being on the water, it's a sense of tranquility. There's no competition, and it's peace. It's quiet. And that's the reason I began my time with Project Healing Waters. Veterans can come and bond together, whether they have a disability, physical or emotional. What matters to us is inside a person and not what's outside a person. And you have made my brother, my father so much better in the change that has come about them. I would do anything I could to try and help these vets. I've been there. They're my brethren. It matters what's inside and how we treat people.
Their work is broadly supported by corporate sponsors, as well as grants from the Department of Veterans Affairs and private donations. Many local fly fishing clubs across the U.S. sponsor their individual programs, including the historic Golden Gate Angling and Casting Club in San Francisco, California. There, conservationist and fly angler Henry Little, himself a wounded Vietnam veteran, leads a group of member volunteers who teach monthly clinics at the famous casting pools. They begin with fly tying, casting mechanics, and rod building. Then, once the vets are ready, they move on to weekend outings on the magnificent rivers in the region. Henry describes the act of casting and being outdoors as mending to mend, and said in his experience, nothing compares to fly fishing's healing effects that come from the combination of casting, caring, and camaraderie found in nature's healing waters. As one participant put it, with time we can move forward by catching and releasing trauma bit by bit.
Well, there's a number out there, and it's 22, and that's 22 veterans a day committing suicide. So
we've got some people in our group that had some pretty serious issues, PTSD and whatnot, and he said he was ready to commit suicide. And once he got into the healing waters and the fishing, and he's a different person, effective and life-changing.
"4 a.m. comes awful early. I was dead on my feet. But if you're gonna catch the biggest fish, you gotta lose a little sleep. Packed a lunch, my gear, and a couple beers. Headed for my favorite spot. I cursed my luck when I saw his truck right where I pulled off. I was hoping to have the river to myself that day. 'Cause the river don't talk, the river don't care where you've been or what you've done or why it is river just knows. The way the sun bounced off the water, I couldn't make him out, but I could see he had a fish on, a big old rainbow trout. The fight went on forever, and as I headed down my way, I saw his military haircut and the new scars on his face. Right then I knew what brought him to this place. The river don't talk, oh, the river don't care where you've been, or what you've done, or why it is you're standing there. It just rolls on by, whispering to your soul, it's gonna be alright. The river just knows. He held that fish down in the water, and he coaxed it back to life. He said, I'll help him get his wind back, 'cause he helped me get mine. All I could think to say was welcome home. But I think that river said it better on its own. You know the river don't talk, oh, the river don't care where you've been, or what you've done, or why it is you're standing there. It just rolls on by, whispering to your soul, it's gonna be alright. The river just knows it's gonna be alright. The river just knows.
Darn you, Michael.
You're muted, Dave. What, Kevin?
I said, darn you, Michael.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. But like I say, every time we do this show together, Michael, if you guys don't understand how important fishing is now, my gosh, we have to make sure that we keep this sport alive, Kevin. We have to make sure it saves people's lives every single day. And to think that there is an entity out there that wants to destroy this and take it away from us, that's just the grossest, sickest thing I've ever heard of in my life.
And if I may, on that topic, at the end of it, there was oh, you guys got me.
Yeah.
The talk of the 22 a day. And I would just like to take a second and say, Dina, you are not forgotten. Gara, you're not forgotten. We miss you, and I wish I could have brought you fishing. I think it's so important that veterans get a chance to find this community after the military. And one thing that I'm very grateful that Healing Waters has done is it is now not just disabled veterans. And what it means by disabled veterans is in the VA system, when you go into the military, your body is here. When you get out, your body is here, and the VA compensates you for that. That's what VA disability is. Project Healing Waters is now open to all veterans. And I think that's huge. Just to give an idea, so I think you mentioned it in the clip there. Healing Waters was started in 2005. There are currently approximately 8,800 participants. Since 2012, they've had just under 70,000 participants. There are 158 active charters in 45 different states. And there are just under 3,700 volunteers. So if you know anything about fly fishing or you don't, and you're a veteran, come out and be part of the crew. If you know something about fly fishing and you have a veteran in your life or know of a veteran and you're looking for a way to help, volunteer for Project Healing Waters. And specifically with charters and looking in California, there's a chapter in Long Beach and a chapter out of San Diego. So for our SoCal fam here, there are 2 chapters very close, and those are the 2 cities that I recognize quickly, but there are 2, 4, 6, 7. There are 7 different chapters throughout California. So if you're in the California area, go reach out. And when you leave the military, I think I was just talking to another buddy of mine about this the other day. I think something that isn't widely understood is, especially in the enlisted ranks, we live together, we eat together, we train together, everything. And then you get out and you have nobody. And that is one of the hardest pieces to navigate. And, part of my personal journey and struggle with it is I was an intel analyst. Everything I did was classified. I can't talk about what I saw and what's messing me up because it's classified. And the VA therapists are not cleared to talk about it. So, there's that aspect of it, and just the sense of, I had 56 lives depending on me to get to a mission, do a mission, and get home alive. And then I get out, and you want to talk about a loss of a sense of purpose. And what fly fishing has done for me in my mental health aspect is every time I go every time I go fishing it's a new mission. It's a new mission brief that I'm trying to figure out, what's the water doing today? What are the fish keying on? What are they not keying on? To use some intel slang, what is the most likely thing and what's the most dangerous thing? So in the fish's mind, this might work, but this is definitely going to work, that kind of thing. So that's been one big thing. Plus just the camaraderie of knowing that you're with a group of guys and gals that have been through maybe not your exact experience, but they've been through your experience and they get it. And I think I was talking about this last week that, when we get out, I see you, Mike Lewis, in the chat. I hear you, brother. That we have our military basket in our head and we have our family basket in our head. And these things never meet because we know what the military basket did to us, and we're not about to put that on anyone else that we love. And so the fact that we have an organization like Project Healing Waters, that we can come together and just have that brotherhood and sisterhood of knowing, what I went through, I know what you went through, we both get it. And, just like they were talking in the Casting for Recovery section, there really is something that happens when you are manipulating a fly line that just everything goes away and you actually have a chance to have a quiet mind. Like as silly as that may say, just to be able to turn it off for that, however long you're in the creek, is some of the best therapy that you can ever get. And then, with tying flies, we kind of joked about it, that when you're tying something, the size of your pinky fingernail, you can't think about anything else because you're so focused on what you're doing. And so it's just been truly life-changing and life-saving for me. And I'll be forever grateful for everyone that I've met and worked with in healing waters. And I've gotten some really incredible experiences that I wouldn't have gotten otherwise. So from this veteran, thank you for highlighting the program and the good it does.
The thanks is all to you, Kevin, and your guy, and everyone that served. I mean, it's as a country, as a nation, the gratitude that we all feel, and I think seldomly express, or have the opportunity to express, how grateful we are for you and every single serviceman and woman who's put their lives on the line to defend and protect and support the democracy and the United States of America. So as a civilian, I am eternally grateful to you and all the service that you've given us, Kevin. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And, that was something too, that if you ever tell a veteran, thank you for your service, and they kind of get this like awkward, weird, it's because it is awkward for us. Because a lot of us feel, I just signed a line. I'm not anything special. And so, if you say that to a veteran and you feel like, wow, he didn't really seem appreciative that I, said something, we're extremely appreciative. We just don't know how to respond to it.
And words really don't, the words, how much we appreciate your service, don't even begin to convey what it means. I mean, it's your service is the bond that has kept America the greatest country ever for over 250 years. And it's the men and women that went before you. It's the men and women that you're with right now, and it's the men and women that are gonna step forward in the future that are going to continue to protect the greatest gift that I think God's ever given to mankind is the gift of democracy and the gift of the United States of America.
Yeah, we are. It's so funny that we brought up where the Declaration of Independence, and I mean, I've got it right there, right next to my awards, and it's just so. And then on the other side over here, I've got my fly fishing stuff. So it's all, it's all right there. It's all intertwined, and we as in the country of America are an experiment worth defending and worth preserving.
Absolutely.
And, I know Captain Dave Hansen says, turn the news off. They're all lying to you and all that stuff. And, the thing I would say is the thing that makes our country so special that I can't think of another country truly that we have the opportunity is I could be the most extreme leftist and you could be the most extreme right is rightist a word? The most extreme conservative, extreme opposite ends, and we can battle it out verbally, or we should be able to. And that's worth defending. That's worth keeping going.
Absolutely. And we find a common ground in the water.
Yes, absolutely. Yep. And, maybe that's we need to go to DC. We need to get Captain Dave's sister, go back out to DC and say, all right, y'all like shutting the government down anyway. We're going to shut it down for a day, and we're all going out to Chesapeake Bay, and we're going to go fish and work some stuff out.
It's a game changer.
It really is.
I know for me personally, every time I pick up a rod, every time I'm on the water, my entire life recenters, refocuses. And like you said, you have a moment of a quiet stillness where you just become one with what it is that you're doing. Yeah. And it's all consuming. And that is so healing and so inspiring and so rewarding. And it just can't be taught any other way than actually participating. So like we said,
On the mental health aspect of it too, it's like it's not just therapy, but it's also a creative outlet. I mean, if if any of Tiffany's students, I've seen Tiffany in the chat, so if any of her students that I've talked to about fly fishing have ever heard me talk about spey casting is art in motion, go back and watch the clip where I think it was a young lady that had the big two-handed rod. When you watch that done, and at the casting pool, when you watch that done, I mean, fly fishing is a creative outlet as much as it is a mental health therapy tool, because you get into the world of fly tying, you get into the world of rod building, and you can put your stamp on anything you do with it.
And it's unlimited, and it's all consuming. I go to start working on a rod. I'll work 6-7 hours on it and not even realize I've missed lunch. I'm not thinking I'm hungry. And my wife goes, "It's dinner time." Don't look up. You're so focused on the threads. It's just, there's so many attributes to fishing that we just have to defend it. Like you said, we have to defend our democracy, both from internal and external threats, as well as defend the right to continue to participate in the outdoors and interact with nature on whatever level.
I completely agree. And you know, Cat and Dave asked me last week why I think that they're, you know, trying to go after our fishing rights and all that. And, you know, I think you just gave me another answer to it. I joked that, you know, there's a serious side and a not so serious side. The serious side is, you know, they want to show who's got the power. The not so serious side is they're just jealous of all our smiles and tans and all that. But really what we just said is fishing makes you work things out. And if you don't have an avenue to work things out, well, then you're just stuck with what we give you.
Jumbled up. Yep. It's
so, but yeah, I truly appreciate the highlighting of fly fishing in general, and specifically because I've been around both of the organizations, the Casting for Recovery and the Project Healing Waters. And I've seen a couple posts, I think, in the chat talking about the Federation of Fly Fishers. It is now the Fly Fishers International is what it's called now. And they have a ton of free resources as far as learning to cast, learning to tie flies, and things like that. So, you know, if you're somewhere that you're kind of interested, if you're like me and you like to kind of read a little bit before you go do something, so you don't feel like a complete idiot when you go somewhere, they have all kinds of stuff that you can read on. And then when you go talk to that person that, you know, does fly fishing, hey, I was reading in this article or this casting, how do you make this particular cast work? And I mean, there's just so much information out there. All you got to do is look for it and
just show up and ask.
Yep, absolutely.
Anyone that I know that wouldn't help share the information that he has to help someone new catch a fish.
Yep, absolutely. And please know this is not a selfish plug, but seriously, if you are a veteran or you know a veteran that is struggling, please look up Libertas Rods, Facebook, Instagram, reach out to me. Let's talk. Let's work through it. I would much rather, I've either been to or live streamed enough funerals of either military members I know or military members that are my age. I'm kind of done with it. So talk to me. I would much rather, you know, cry on a very large podcast with you than
attend your funeral.
Go to your funeral.
Yep.
So please do not hesitate to reach out.
It's like you were saying, you keep your two components separate. You know, here's the military and here's family. And if you can't, especially, you know, as classified material that you're dealing with, you've got to get that out somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And fishing is a perfect venue for anyone under any circumstances to deal with what they're dealing with emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically. It doesn't matter. They all come together around the sport. And there's tens of thousands of people out there, veterans, guides, service members that are waiting to help. Just reach out.
I hope what the segment on healing waters does for anyone watching this and anyone that watches your series via Amazon or wherever else they find it is, I really don't mean this to sound as crass as it might come across, but when you see the healing water segment and you see folks that are missing limbs or in wheelchairs or, you know, have some very serious mobile restrictions, there's still a way for you to get out and fish. You know, there's still, don't think that, oh, well, I've got X mobility issue, I'll never be able to go out and do the river runs through it, you know, chest deep in the water. You don't have to do that to experience fly fishing in general, and get a ton out of it.
It's a gift. It's a gift. It's a gift. Thanks, Kevin. Great words.
I appreciate it.
Your perspective, and thank you so much for jumping on the show. I was so thrilled that you could come back.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. I see another one in the chat. John Milton, appreciate you, brother. Thank you for your service as well.
Hi, guys. This is Kelly.
Dave's voice change.
Yeah, I'm Kelly, Dave's better half. But Kevin, I just wanted to say thank you so much for your time today, for being on the show on behalf of the entire Your Saltwater Guide community. We appreciate you and your service and your heartfelt words today. I had a hard time getting on the show just now because I had a lump in my throat. I feel really moved, and thank you so much. We appreciate what you've done for fishing and your service. So thank you so much.
It means a ton to me. I came out, I met Cat and Dave in person, met Cat and Tiffany in the chat through her rod building, then in person, a couple of weeks ago at the boat show, and Lisa and Matt and, all you guys in the chat and all that. And you guys truly have a community here, and don't take that for granted. You guys have worked very hard to create a community, and that's what fishing is. It is a community. Keep it together. And I truly feel very grateful and very honored to be a very small piece of this community that you guys have built. I very much appreciate being welcomed into it.
Oh, well, we're glad to have you. And it is something that my husband he's created that, I'm just so proud of him. And makes such a difference to him and me and all of our members. It's just that sense of community. It means everything. It could make or break your day. If it just that support and just that camaraderie that we have it's just awesome. And we hope to grow it, get more members, more people involved but we love it. We love our family. Thanks for being a part of it. And you too, Michael. Thank you so much for your time. As always, thank you for being part of the show. I know that it means a lot to everybody, especially Dave and me. And thank you so much.
I'm honored to be a part of it. Thanks, Kelly.
Thank you. So I guess unless anyone has any questions or anything else to say, we can end it. And I wish you all continued respect and peace and all the best the rest of the day today and forever.
Thanks, Kevin. Thank you. Thanks, Kelly. Thanks, David, for us. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
See you next week.